Hi, my name is Laurel Marsh, and I created a YouTube channel called Math Made Easy with Laurel. I retired from teaching a few years ago. I had spent 39 years teaching math, mostly post-secondary level at Saskatchewan Polytechnic. And I got the idea of starting the channel from a friend and my brother. When the pandemic hit, a friend of mine suggested that maybe I should consider putting math videos online for students who are doing at-home learning. And I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do that, so the idea sort of just sat there for a bit. And then my brother started a YouTube channel called Freddie Got Furloughed, and he encouraged me to start a YouTube channel. So I realized that that was probably the best platform to use to get math videos out there. The thing I like about YouTube is that it's free and accessible to anybody, anywhere, at any time. I had to figure out where I was going to start and what I was going to cover. So I thought, well, I taught a lot of technology math, and in those courses, students were often missing many high school concepts that were necessary for them then to learn calculus. So that's where I started. I started at high school level, and I went through numerous topics in algebra, numerous topics in trigonometry, and I also covered logarithms. Then I did a series of videos on differential calculus, covering different topics in differential calculus, and I did the same thing with integral calculus. Then I turned my focus to math used in health sciences and in trades. So there's a lot of videos on basic math concepts, metric math, and specific trade and healthcare professional topics. I decided to structure my teaching on the video like I did in the classroom. I tried to break down every concept into what I thought was the easiest way to explain it. And then I would demonstrate that topic with examples, starting with easier examples and building up. And I tried to cover a variety that the students might see in their courses. Math is a unique subject in that it's sequential. So when people are learning math, they have to learn this before they can learn this, and then they need to know this before they learn this, and so on. And often what happens is people are missing those foundation pieces, which will eventually create a lot of difficulty for them going forward. And at that point, a lot of people give up or tell themselves they just can't do it. And I really want people to understand that they can do it. Being successful in math takes two components. One is effective instruction. People have different learning styles, and some teaching methods are going to click better for some people than others. So it's important that students find what works for them, that suits their learning style, whether it's with a teacher or a tutor or with online resources or videos. And then the other part is efficient practice. I compare math to learning a sport or a musical instrument. Certainly there are individuals that have more of a natural inclination or talent for the subject, just as there's some people that have more of a natural talent for an instrument or a sport. But nobody gets good at any of those things without practice. People need to put the time in. And the best way to do that practice is smaller lengths of time more often. If possible, whenever a student learns a new concept, they should practice it that day. That will increase understanding and take that concept to a different level of the brain where they can recall it easier. And that's more efficient than waiting till a week later and then trying to do all of the homework for the week. If a student knows anybody that's good at math, I can guarantee they've done a lot of math. It's necessary to be successful. If a student is struggling with the concept, then they have to determine what is missing. You know, they might have some fundamental understanding pieces that aren't there. For example, if a student is learning how to add algebraic fractions, they need to know how to add numerical fractions. They need to know how to find the lowest common denominator. They need to know how to factor polynomials in order to find that lowest common denominator. So those things have to be taught and understood first. And then if those things are in place, learning how to add algebraic fractions is not that difficult because there's a lot of things that they already are familiar with and they can relate to those things they already know. From all of my years of teaching and from some of the research I've done, I've realized that being successful in math requires a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. People who have a fixed mindset tell themselves they can't learn it. They shut down. It's a very self-defeating mindset. But that simply isn't true. I have seen students that struggle, but once they fill in those missing key pieces and build their foundation, then they're able to be very successful going forward. So even if they've struggled in the past, it's never too late to fill in those gaps and then have success in the future. So in order to do that, a student needs to have a growth mindset where they realize that they're capable of doing it and there's a method to achieving success. I sincerely hope that my videos are helpful to a large number of students at the high school level and post-secondary level, but they're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Some people are going to have learning styles that aren't in sync with my teaching style, so I encourage those people to seek other resources. There's a multitude of resources available to people, so it's a matter of finding the right fit. I just encourage people not to give up when they do encounter frustration or confusion. There's always a way to get through it.